Welcome, everyone. Good morning. My name is Kristen Mink. I'm the council member for District 5, and I am so excited to be here to present this proclamation along with my colleagues today. We are recognizing Drag Story Hour, DMV, and the many partners who have made and continue to make Drag Story Hours possible and joyful here in Montgomery County. Drag Story Hour is where storytellers use the art of drag to read books to kids in libraries, schools, bookstores, and more, and to create spaces where kids can imagine a world where everyone can be their authentic selves. Last summer, in 2022, when I saw that protesters had disrupted a Drag Story Hour, I reached out to the MoCo Pride Center and Drag Story Hour DMV to help. Very quickly, we organized a community response team that used rainbow flags, umbrellas, and Disney music to shield children and families from sometimes homophobic, transphobic signs and shouts. Hundreds of Montgomery County residents responded to the call for help, and the group has become what is today known as the Rainbow Defense Coalition. The necessity of that part of Drag Story Hours speaks to the heightened attacks on LGBTQIA+ communities, events, and frankly, existence that we are seeing today. And the inability of groups like the Proud Boys to intimidate us, but rather to inspire hundreds of community members to ensure the events can continue, and to inspire families to joyfully, defiantly continue to attend. That speaks to who we are in Montgomery County. I am so proud of everyone who makes these story hours possible. I'd like to recognize Drag Story Hour DMV, Loyalty Books, a local queer-owned bookstore that hosts Drag Story Hours, Only Theater, which partnered with Only Library to feature a Drag Story Hour as part of the run-up to their fabulous show, Kinky Boots, the Rainbow Defense Coalition, the MoCo Pride Center, which co-sponsors many Drag Story Hours and does a wide breadth of events and community works for the LGBTQIA+ community, and of course our very own Montgomery County Public Libraries. And I'd especially like to recognize our regular Montgomery County storytellers, two of whom are able to be here today, Charlemagne Chateau and Bella Naughty, and Amanda Martini, who is unfortunately not able to make it today but sends her regards. Thank you all. We're going to hear now from Council President Glass and a few colleagues, and then from Charlemagne Chateau and Jill McCrory, co-founder and board member of the MoCo Pride Center.
Well, thank you very much, Councilmember Mink, and thank you to everybody who's here for helping make our community a vibrant, inclusive, and loving place. The reality is that for as long as there have been books, there have been adults trying to get these kids to read the books. And we do what we can to make sure that youth are engaged and they're learned and that they can be creative. And, you know, there's lots of controversies or people trying to stir controversy about Drag Story Hour. But the reality is, this has been going back for centuries. We don't have to look beyond William Shakespeare and the Globe Theater, and that when Romeo and Juliet was first performed, Romeo and Juliet were both men because women couldn't perform. And so the controversy that people are trying to create these days is as made up as some of the story tales that we tell. And I just want to extend my appreciation and heartfelt sympathy and appreciation for everybody who is helping make our community loving, caring, and vibrant. That's what we do in Montgomery County. That's who we are. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Council President Glass. I would like to invite up actually Bella to say a few words.
I thought you said Ashley, Bella, and I was like, who's Ashley? Well, thank you all so much, and it really does make a world of difference to do proclamations like this, honoring the work that I'm so joyful to be able to help do. And, you know, as somebody that's been out in the midst of a lot of hate, dealing with anyone from protesting me, taunting me, trying to dox me, or to pop the wheels of my car. I do what I do because I love what I do, and I really care about the community at large. I also very much so care about the youth. As a drag performer, I've been a queer youth, and I've grown up, and I never had what I give to the community. I give to the community what I could give, my voice and my story, and stories about people like me and people in my community. And I also get to help reinforce creativity and their own literacy. I have literally met high schoolers that are illiterate. So it's out there. Even in great counties like this, some people somehow get missed. And private programs like what we do help fill in the gaps. And so I feel honored to be able to provide the services that I do, not just for my own beautiful image here, but because I love this community and I love the people in this community. And I'm going to give all that I can because I love them. So thank you.
And I'd like to invite up Jill McQuarrie from the MoCo Pride Center.
Thank you. One of our priorities at the MoCo Pride Center is to provide opportunities and safe space for our drag performers. It's really very important to us. In all the many things that we could be doing as a center, it was one of the first things that we took on and continue to do. But I really want to thank the county council, because there are not that many county government agencies, county councils that would fully embrace and support Drag Queen Story Hour. And so having your support is so important. It's how I first met you, Council Fink, and it was just an incredible opportunity the first time we got involved. And I want to have a shout out to our board member, Morgan, because she is the one that I have seen stand with the Rainbow folks and protect our drag performers. So thank you so much for your support.
And thank you so much, Jill. And yes, shout out to Morgan Merriman, who has been absolutely incredible and steadfast at putting together and showing up to protect these drag story hours. I would like to invite up Shruti Mukund from Olney Theater, and I just want to note that I saw the Kinky Boots production. It was absolutely incredible, and I think it was, yes, and I think it was genius to do a drag story hour production as part of that. So come on up, Shruti.
Thank you, Councilmember Mink. It's an honor for me to be here as a part of Olney, to represent Olney Theatre Center here today in these proceedings. And for us, all our work is community forward. And even though we are what's on stage is theater, we understand that we have to gather community around the theater, make it accessible to everybody. And like you were mentioning, that the people who get left behind is whom I'm constantly trying to see how we can bring them together and find programs and ways to focus and highlight and make a space for them at Olney Theatre Center. It doesn't have to be at our theater, but working in the community, like with the Olney Library. We've continued the story hour, and we kind of match our productions to whatever story hour we could do and present at the library. But again, thank you to the county for making all this possible, and thanks to the council members.
Thank you so much. Okay, and I would like to invite up a few of my colleagues to help read the proclamation. Council President Glass, Councilmember Ludicky, Stewart, Sales, Friedson, and Fanny Gonzalez. All right, I think we had parts, but we can also just pass it down the line, if that would be easiest. Okay. Whereas, Drag Story Hour promotes literacy, celebrates reading, and exemplifies the joy and simplicity of embracing our own and others' authentic selves, and
whereas Drag Story Hour DC, Maryland, Virginia DMV chapter was founded in 2019 in Silver Spring to make fabulous story hours available to the public across and around Montgomery County. And
whereas Drag Story Hour DMV provides diverse, accessible, inclusive family programming through partnerships with county libraries, schools, parks, and celebrated venues like Olney Theater Center for the Arts, Brookside Gardens, and small businesses like the locally and queer-owned Loyalty Brookstore and
Whereas Drag Story Hour DMV envisions a world where kids can learn from LGBTQIA+ stories and inclusive experiences to love themselves, to celebrate the diversity in their communities, and to stand up for what they believe in and each other. And
whereas Drag Story Hour DMV was honored this year with the Capital Pride Alliance's Breaking Barriers Community Impact Award for making a significant impact upon the LGBTQIA+ community. And
whereas Drag Story Hours have continued despite hateful attacks and community volunteers formed the Rainbow Defense Coalition to help protect events and attendees, demonstrating that in Montgomery County, love will triumph.
All right. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the entire County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby celebrates Drag Queen Story Hour, DC, Maryland, Virginia, for its outstanding contributions to the vibrancy and inclusiveness of our community. Signed this day, the 12th of September in the year 2023.